Hey coin collectors, welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel, and today we're going to take a look at what PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, said was one of the worst struck cents from 1932 to date. The 1961 D, or the Denver Mint 1 cent coin from the United States of America, has no coins graded at 68, MS68, MS69, or MS70. None through PCGS. And in fact, they found 2 at 67 plus and 20 at 67. So up until after 2010, they haven't even found a 67. After PCGS published that they hadn't, people started finding them, and they found a couple. It looks like they found about 22 that have been through PCGS. What do they mean by the worst struck cents ever? Well, they just don't have good quality to them. This is clearly a well-used one. It says "In God We Trust" at the top. A little bit of almost doubling up there, but it's so bad you don't know if it just hit wrong. Back here, the Liberty, and you find many of the 61s, the L touches the rim, and many of them have this dent near the rim, and I'll show you that later. And then the 1961 and the D here. How many did they make at the Denver Mint in 1961? Well, they made 1.75 billion. They made a lot. They also made them at the Philadelphia Mint. And of course, this one's not in much better shape. Look at this. But we'll show you some better ones. This one, the L kind of touches. It's kind of beat up a little bit. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made about half as many, 756 million. If you get either one of these in a MS65, you're talking about $10 to $20 more for the D, because the D, they're just not that many good quality ones around. What does a good 1961 D look like? Well, this is a pretty darn good one, but even this one, look, the ears messed up. This is you can get these in a couple different ways. You can get the regular, and this is the dent I was talking about. Many of them have this here where the L is kind of dented. The rim kind of get dented in just when they hit it. And that didn't just happen in 61. That happened the year before. But I'll show you I'll show you 1960 with the same thing. So this is a better looking one, but even this one is all dented up. This is a brass coin. It's copper and then nickel, zinc, or tin. This is one of the best ones you'll find. It's probably uncirculated or almost uncirculated. And this is what it looks like at its best. You can see most of the steps. You can see some coloring coming through down here. It almost looks like they didn't blend the metals well. You see the FG here for Frank Gasparo, and then around the top you see it says United States of America, E pluribus unum, the dots on each side of the unum and between the E and the pluribus. Lincoln is way down in there. You can see him. You can almost see the detail up here, but you can't very well. You can see that it is a roof on here, though. It isn't the floating roof one. Now, at the Denver Mint, they made about 750 million, 1.7 billion at the Denver Mint they made 1.7 billion. At Philly they made about 750 million. The year before, the coins really aren't that bad, but the year before they had a lot of error coins or different varieties. So in 1960, they had the small date with the low 9, they had the large date with the high 9, they had the small date over the large date, they had the small date low 9D, large date high 9D, the D over D, small over large date. So in 1960, they didn't do a great job, but they made a bunch of collector coins with their mistakes. In 1961, they didn't do a great job, but they didn't make the kind of errors that collectors are really looking for. Is this really a bad coin? No, it's not a bad coin. You can find some, and in fact, if you can get up to an MS67 in this, which isn't great for a lot of years, but an MS67 might get you $800 to $1,000. So is this coin worth anything here? Well, it's probably MS63 or less. An MS63 is going to be worth maybe $5 or $6, but in order to get it graded, it's going to cost too much. And then you get up to MS65, and you might be talking about 15 dollars or so, maybe even less. And up to MS66, you're talking in the 20 to 40. 66 plus, you get over 100. And 67 is where they've had a number of them. Only 20 so far, though. So, should you collect a 1961D? Yeah, definitely collect it. Should you... let's look at one other thing that they did really poorly on these, and that is the initials. The Victor David Brenner initials are very, very hard to see on the 1961s, and you can see it right there, but it just is not very sharp. And that's not me messing with the camera, that's just, there you go. It just didn't hit very good. So these coins, not made well, not graded well. Is it any different in the 1960? Well, let's look. It's a little bit better. Yeah, oh, it's way better. Well, I say it's way better because I can see it good from here. But there's the V, the D, and the B. And I'll show you one last thing before we go, and that is the 1960s had this dent in them over here too. See how that's dented right near the L? So the 60s and the 61s both did. And tellingly enough, this is a 60D. So the Denver Mint was kind of not making great coins even in 1960. And they really carried over to 1961. And if you can find a really good 1961D, you can have hundreds of dollars. Have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel.